A golden sunrise spills across the well-manicured lawns of a grand mansion in Karen, Nairobi. The house, hidden behind tall gates, is a fortress of wealth, ivory-colored walls, marble statues, expensive imported vehicles parked in rows. Birds chirp softly, a deceptive peace before the daily storm. Inside, the mansion is awake, though not with joy. In Kanini family mansion, kitchen, early morning. The kitchen bustles with domestic workers dressed in navy blue uniforms. A nervous energy hangs in the air. A maid, Auntie Miriam, 50s, thin and tired-looking, barks orders to two younger girls, Nayawaira, 19, and Sheila, 17. Auntie Miriam. Whispering, fast. Nayawaira, finish the porridge. Sheila, wipe the cutlery again. Don't forget, Madam Kanani checks everything with a white glove. Nayawaira. I already wiped them twice. Auntie Miriam. Then wipe them thrice. Do you want to go back to the village with nothing but shame? Nayawaira swallows hard and continues. A kettle whistles. The tension is palpable. In Zawadi's bedroom, same time. Zawadi Kanini, 17, lies in a large bed covered in velvet duvets. Her room is everything a girl could dream of: plush toys, a pink and gold vanity, designer handbags lined on shelves. She stares blankly at the ceiling. Her sleep was restless. She hears movement downstairs, the clinking of cups, the distant voice of her mother yelling. She turns over, burying her face in a pillow. In dining room, later. The breakfast table is a work of art. Fruit carved into roses, eggs cooked 5 different ways, butter molded into tulip shapes. Madam Kanini, late 40s, sharp-eyed and permanently displeased, sits at the head of the table in a crisp designer suit. Beside her, Emma Kanini, a powerful and brooding man, flips through his tablet without saying a word. Zawadi walks in, dragging her feet. Madam Kanini. Eyeing her. Good morning, sleepyhead. You're late. Again. Zawadi. Sits quietly. Sorry, Mom. Auntie Miriam rushes in and begins serving tea. Her hands tremble slightly. Madam Kanini. Watching her. Are your hands shaking, Miriam? Auntie Miriam. No, madam. Maybe, just cold. Madam Kanini. Then wear gloves. Or stop being so careless. Zawadi watches silently. The house helps avoid eye contact. Nayawaira walks by with bread on a tray and accidentally bumps the corner of a chair, dropping one roll on the floor. Time freezes. Madam Kanini. Stanley. Pick that up. Nayawaira kneels quickly, her face red. Madam Kanini. Snarling. And throw it out. Do you want us to eat what has touched the floor? Honestly, Zawadi, these girls, no discipline. We are raising livestock. Zawadi looks down, picking at her bread. Her mother's words sting her, more now than ever. Backyard, later. Nayawaira and Sheila scrub laundry under the sun. Zawadi watches them from her window, frowning. She's seen this every day, but today, something feels heavier. She grabs a book and heads outside. In garden, continuous. Zawadi sits on a stone bench nearby, pretending to read. She sneaks glances at the girls. Zawadi. Softly. You can use the washing machine, you know. Nayawaira pauses, startled. Nayawaira. Madam said we are not allowed. It wastes electricity. Zawadi. Even I use it. What's the difference? Nayawaira shrugs, her hands deep in soapy water. Zawadi stands, hesitant. Zawadi. If you want. I can show you how to use it. When they're not looking. Nayawaira looks up at her, confused. Nayawaira. Why would you do that? Zawadi doesn't answer. Zawadi. No reason. She walks back to the house, but her heart is unsettled. In Konini Mansion, living room, evening. The family is gathered in the living room. A smart TV displays headlines. Mr. Kanini speaks on the phone with a political tone. Madam Kanini sips wine. Zawadi. Suddenly. Mom. Madam Kanini. Zawadi. Why don't we give the workers a break on Sundays? Like a proper rest day. Madam Kanini nearly chokes on her wine. Madam Kanini. A break. What do you think this is, Europe? Mr. Kanini chuckles. Zawadi. But Mom, it's not right. Even God rested. Madam Kanini. God didn't have lazy house girls ruining his home. Zawadi stands up, frustrated. Zawadi. They are human beings. A thick silence fills the room. Madam Kanini rises. Madam Kanini. Don't you dare speak to me like that. Those people are lucky we give them shelter, food, and work. If they want better, they can build their own mansion. Until then, they obey. Zawadi storms out. Her father watches her go but says nothing. In Konini Mansion, night. Zawadi stares at her bedroom ceiling again. Her heart is torn. The house is quiet, but she hears the soft sobbing of a maid from somewhere in the servants' quarters. She rises, walks to her window, and opens it slowly. The sound becomes clearer, a muffled cry. She closes her eyes. In servants' quarters, same time. A small, cramped room with two thin mattresses on the floor. Nayawaira quietly weeps while holding a photo of her younger brother. Sheila wraps a blanket around her. Sheila. They'll never see us as humans. But let's survive. Just a little longer. Nayawaira. Maybe one day, someone will care. The camera pans up through the thin roof, into the quiet night sky above. In Konini Mansion, front gate, morning. A small, battered matatu stops just outside the tall gates of the Kanini estate. From the rear steps out a timid girl, Wima, 16, holding a worn-out bag. Her eyes, wide with uncertainty, scan the mansion's looming exterior. She's dressed modestly and clutches a folded letter from a rural employment agent. The security guard waves her in. In servants' quarters, moments later. Auntie Miriam introduces Wima to the rest of the workers. Sheila and Nayawaira exchange glances. Auntie Miriam. This is Wima. She's replacing Lucy, who was sent back last week. Nayawaira. Sarcastically. Sent back or vanished. Auntie Miriam. Nayawaira, don't start. It's not our business. Wima, you're in laundry and errands. Keep your head low and don't talk back. Wima nods obediently, clearly overwhelmed. In Konini Mansion, dining room, later that day. Wima serves juice shakily at dinner. Madam Kanini eyes her suspiciously. Madam Kanini. What is this girl's name again? Wima. Wima, madam. Madam Kanini. Speak clearly. Wima from where? Wima. From Kiziai, madam. I came to work and send money home to my brother. Madam Kanini. Just don't break anything. I'm tired of these emotional village girls. Wima bows her head. Zawadi observes from her seat, feeling a pit in her stomach. In Zawadi's bedroom, night. Zawadi can't sleep. She scribbles thoughts in her journal. Another new girl. Why do they come and disappear like ghosts? Mom says they're careless. But maybe we're the careless ones. She hears soft footsteps outside. A knock at her door. Wima, OS. Miss Zawadi. Zawadi opens it, surprised to see Wima holding her shoes. Wima. I cleaned them, but one lace broke. I'm sorry. Zawadi. surprised at her humility. It's okay. Thank you, Wima. Zawadi sees Wima's hands, blistered already from scrubbing. Zawadi. Did you eat anything today? In Kanini mansion, study, night. Zawadi walks past her father's study. She hears muffled crying. Stops. Listens. Just as she reaches for the knob, the door opens, and Wima steps out, hurriedly fixing her blouse. Her eyes meet Zawadi's, full of shame. Zawadi. Wima. Wima shakes her head and walks away. Zawadi freezes. In Zawadi's bedroom, next morning. Wima is missing. Her bed untouched. Zawadi hurries to the kitchen. In kitchen. Zawadi. Where's Wima? Nayawaira shrugs. Auntie Miriam won't meet her gaze. Auntie Miriam. She left early. Said her brother was sick. Zawadi. Suspicious. Why wouldn't she tell me? She dashes off to the servants' quarters. In servants' quarters. Zawadi searches through Wima's small belongings. Finds a crumpled piece of paper. It reads. If anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident. Tell the truth one day. Wima. Zawadi's hands tremble. In Kanini family office, later. Zawadi confronts her father, paper in hand. Zawadi. Where's Wima? Mr. Kanini. She went home. What are you talking about? Zawadi. Don't lie to me. Mr. Kanini. Sit back, stern. You're becoming too curious, Zawadi. I suggest you stop before someone gets hurt. Zawadi stares at him, a fire building in her eyes. Mansion balcony, night. Zawadi stands in the dark, staring at the moon. She holds Wima's note in her hands. Zawadi, Vio. They think silence is safety. That truth can be buried with bribes and gates. But something has changed in me. And I won't stop until I find her. She walks back inside. Cut to black. Kanini mansion, early morning. The dawn sky hangs heavy, clouded and pale. The flowers in Madame Kanini's garden seem to droop, as if mourning. But the mansion remains immaculately pristine, like always. Inside, something is beginning to rot, silently. Zawadi's room, morning. Zawadi lies awake in bed, clutching Wima's note to her chest. Her eyes are wide, sunken from sleepless nights. On her desk are Wima's few belongings, a headscarf, a worn notebook, and a photo of a boy. She flips through the notebook again, but most pages are blank. Then something catches her attention. The stitching along the back cover is uneven. She carefully tears the lining, and a folded piece of paper slides out. Insert, handwritten page. My name is Wima. If I disappear, it was Mr. Kanini. He comes in the night. Touches where he shouldn't. I'm scared. But no one listens. Maybe Zawadi will. She looked kind. Zawadi gasps, dropping the paper. Her hands tremble. In family living room, later. Zawadi stands in front of her mother, the page clutched in her fist. Zawadi. Did you know? Madame Kanini. Know what? Zawadi. About Wima. About what Dad does to the house girls. She left this behind. She was terrified. Madame Kanini stiffens. Madame Kanini. That's a dangerous accusation. Zawadi. Then call the police. Madame Kanini. Zawadi, listen to me. Your father is a powerful man. If you say things like that, he'll make you regret it. We all will. Zawadi stares at her mother, heartbroken. Zawadi. So you'd rather protect him than a girl crying in your guest room? Madame Kanini. We don't burn our house down for strangers. Zawadi. Then maybe this house deserves to burn. She storms off. In servants' quarters, night. Zawadi sneaks in after lights out. Sheila is awake, pretending to read. Zawadi. You knew, didn't you? Sheila closes the book slowly. Sheila. Everyone knows. We just pretend not to. It's how we survive. Zawadi. I found her journal. She named him. Sheila. Then you should destroy it. Hide it. Whatever you do, don't let him know you have it. Zawadi. I want to find her. Sheila stares at her like she's crazy. Sheila. People who ask too many questions in this house don't last. In Zawadi's room, later that night. Zawadi paces, restless. She hides the note and the journal in a hollow space beneath her floorboards, lifting an old, cracked tire. She hears a voice outside her room. Her father's. She freezes. Quiet. Listen. Mr. Konini, OS. You're too soft on that girl. She's asking questions. That stops today. Her heartbeat races. She backs away from the door. In Konini mansion, study, the next day. Zawadi slips into her father's study while everyone is out. She scans the shelves, ledgers, political campaign documents, a drawer marked staff. She opens it. Inside, passports, staff contracts, letters. She finds Wima's file. The last page has a note. Terminated, claimed illness. Paid fare. Sent to unknown location. But the address section is blank. Zawadi notices something else, several girls' files stamped, returned to agent. One of them is Lucy's. She takes photos of all documents. Downtown Nairobi, day. Zawadi, in a hoodie, walks nervously down the streets. She reaches a decrepit building with a faded sign, Hardy Employment Agency. In Employment Agency. Zawadi walks in, posing as someone looking for help. Zawadi. Hi. I want to inquire about someone, Wima. She came through this office. The receptionist glares. Receptionist. We don't give out staff information. Zawadi. Softly, handing over a 2,000 KS note. It's urgent. Please. The receptionist sighs, then leans closer. Receptionist. Some girls go to homes and never come back. You're Wima. She was picked up from here, but not returned. That happens when girls cause trouble. Zawadi. Where would they be sent? The receptionist shrugs. Receptionist. Some are dumped. Some sent up country. Others disappear. Zawadi's face is pale. In Zawadi's room, night. She rewatches a short video she had secretly recorded of Wima days before she vanished, smiling faintly as she polished shoes. Zawadi begins uploading the scanned files and the journal onto an anonymous blog she's created, The Hidden Chains. She types. My name is Z. I live in privilege, but not in peace. I will no longer keep quiet. This is Wima's story. And it won't be silenced. In Konini mansion, kitchen, next day. The household is buzzing. Madam Kanini is screaming. Madam Kanini. Who did this? This blog. This lies. The media's calling now. Mr. Kanini. Snarling. Someone's trying to destroy us. Check all the maids' phones. No one leaves this house. Auntie Miriam is shaking. Zawadi watches from the hallway, calm and determined. In servants' quarters, late night. Sheila approaches Zawadi secretly. Sheila. What you're doing, it's dangerous. Zawadi. Then help me. If we speak together, they'll have to listen. Sheila hands her a USB stick. Sheila. A year ago, Lucy gave me this. said to keep it safe. I think it's time. In Zawadi's bedroom, night. Zawadi plugs in the USB. Inside is a hidden folder, videos of Mr. Kanani harassing girls, secretly filmed with Lucy's old phone. The audio is grainy but damning. Zawadi gasps, hand over her mouth. She prepares the next blog post. We have proof. Justice will come. For Lucy. For Wima. For every girl silenced behind gilded gates. Konini Mansion, night. Storm clouds gather above the estate. A slow drizzle begins as thunder rumbles in the distance. Inside the Kanani household, a storm is already brewing, louder, more dangerous than the one outside. In kitchen, same night. The atmosphere is tense. House staff are quiet and unusually on edge. Madam Kanani storms in, holding a printed copy of the anonymous blog, The Hidden Chains. Madam Kanini. Shouting. Who wrote this? Oh. Who dares to tarnish our family's name like this? The maids tremble. Auntie Miriam tries to calm her. Auntie Miriam. Madam, maybe it's someone outside, someone jealous of your success. Madam Kanini. Jealousy doesn't record videos in my own house. Suddenly, Mr. Kanani appears behind her, phone in hand. Mr. Kanini. Snarling. We've been exposed. The media is calling me a predator. A monster. Madam Kanini. We need a scapegoat. A sacrifice. The eyes scan the faces of the terrified workers. In Zawadi's bedroom, same night. Zawadi, on her laptop, watches the blog explode across social media. #Strand, #Justice for Wima, #Stop Domestic Abuse, #Kanini House of Horror. Her inbox floods with anonymous stories from girls across Kenya, girls just like Wima and Lucy. Suddenly, her bedroom door bursts open. Madam Kanini. Zawadi. What have you done? Zawadi shuts her laptop calmly. Zawadi. Told the truth. Mr. Kanini. You're betraying your own family for some peasants. Zawadi. They were human beings, Dad. You treated them like tools. Toys. Victims. Madam Kanini. You ruin us. Do you understand? Zawadi. You ruined yourselves. They leave, slamming the door. Zawadi breathes heavily. In servants' quarters, next morning. Zawadi sneaks in with a packed backpack. She hands it to Sheila. Zawadi. Leave today. Go to my cousin's house in Rongai. She'll hide you. Take this flash drive. It has everything. Sheila. What about you? Zawadi. I'll stay. Someone has to burn this place down from the inside. Sheila. Zawadi, you're risking everything. Zawadi. Some things are worth it. They hug. Silent, emotional. Back garden, late afternoon. Sheila sneaks through the back gate with the help of the watchman, Thomas, a kind old man. Zawadi watches from a window, praying. In Kanini Mansion, evening. Madam Kanani paces as police officers search the house. Officer 1. We have an arrest warrant for Mr. Kanani. There are allegations of sexual abuse and illegal labor practices. Mr. Kanini. Preparing bribes. This is ridiculous. Do you know who I am? But the police ignore his protest. Madam Kanani turns to Zawadi in rage. Madam Kanini. You betrayed your own blood. Zawadi. I followed my conscience. Something you traded for chandeliers and silence. In police station, night. Mr. Kanani is dragged into a van. Cameras flash. Reporters shout questions. Zawadi watches from a distance, face solemn, no joy, just deep justice. In mansion, that night. Madam Kanani sits alone in the darkened living room, drinking. Zawadi walks in. Zawadi. You protected him. Covered up everything. Madam Kanini. I did it for you. For your future. For this family. Zawadi. No. You did it for your name. For shame. You didn't care who he hurt, as long as it wasn't you. Madam Kanani glares at her daughter with tears in her eyes, speechless. In school, assembly hall, days later. Zawadi takes the stage at a school assembly, invited to speak about courage. Zawadi. My name is Zawadi Kanani. I come from a rich home. But wealth means nothing when it comes from pain. Our silence kills people every day. I won't be silent anymore. And neither should you. Students erupt into applause. Tears stream down her face. Sheila's hideout, night. Sheila opens her laptop. Sees Zawadi's speech trending online. She smiles, whispering to herself. Sheila. She did it. Int. Konini Mansion, day. Auntie Miriam approaches Zawadi privately. Auntie Miriam. I've served this house for 25 years. And I've seen evil hidden in fine china. But what you did, child, no one's ever had the courage. Zawadi. It's not over yet. EXT, mansion rooftop, sunset. Zawadi stands, wind in her hair, looking over the city. The mansion that once felt like a kingdom now feels like a prison, a relic of arrogance. She pulls out Wima's scarf and lets it fly in the wind. In National News Studio, live interview, night. Bright studio lights. Cameras rolling. A national audience watching. Zawadi, 17, sits across from Amina Kazi, a respected investigative journalist. For the first time, the once sheltered daughter of the Kanani dynasty is ready to speak, publicly, truthfully, without fear. Amina Kazi. Zawadi, your father is a powerful man. Your family is known across the country. Why now? Why speak out? Zawadi takes a deep breath. Zawadi. Because silence was never safety. Because Wima is gone. Because no one believed the girls, until I chose to. Gasps ripple through viewers across the country. In various homes, montage. A housemaid in Mombasa drops her mop, staring at the screen in tears. A university girl watches the live stream on her phone, fist clenched. A retired maid in Kisumu weeps silently in her living room. The nation listens. In police station, same time. Mr. Kanani sits in a holding cell, watching the TV bolted to the wall. His face tightens with rage. Zawadi, on TV. This isn't just about my father. It's about a culture that treats domestic workers like slaves, because they're poor. Because they're girls. Because they are replaceable. In Kanini Mansion, later. Madam Kanani throws a wine glass at the wall. Madam Kanini. She humiliated us. On live TV. Her phone rings non-stop. Sponsors pulling out. School boards demanding answers. Zawadi walks in calmly. Zawadi. They should know the truth. The truth shouldn't belong to only the powerful. Madam Kanini. You ruined your name. Your inheritance. You're nothing now. Zawadi. Then I'll build a name that doesn't step on broken backs. Social media, montage. Tweets, hashtag Zawadi speaks, hashtag Voices of the House Girls, hashtag Konini Scandal. Media clips dissecting her interview. TikTok videos of girls reenacting Zawadi's speech, sharing their own stories. A movement begins. Int. High Court, press conference, next day. Zawadi stands with Sheila, now unhidden, and Lucy's sister, flanked by women rights advocates. They file an official lawsuit against Mr. Kanani and the Hodi Employment Agency. Zawadi. We want justice not just for us, but for every girl who never came home. Int. A government office, secret meeting. Government officials whisper nervously. Official 1. If we let this case go public, others will follow. Official 2. If we bury it, the public will riot. They consider a compromise. A choice between corruption and accountability. Int. Small community hall, night. Zawadi attends a grassroots gathering, former domestic workers, women activists, students. She takes the podium, voice trembling but strong. Zawadi. You don't need money to be powerful. You don't need fame to be heard. You only need the truth, and courage to speak it. Thunderous applause. Int. Konini Mansion, empty halls, night. The house feels haunted. Cold. Quiet. Madam Kanani walks past Zawadi's childhood room. She opens the door. It's empty, closet bare. Drawers cleared. Zawadi has moved out. A note on the bed reads, You taught me how to fear. Life taught me how to fight. I choose fight. Int. Local shelter, morning. Zawadi now volunteers at a safe home for former housemates. She helps cook. Sweeps floors. Sleeps on a bunk bed like everyone else. Sheila. Smiling. You went from marble tiles to metal trays. Regret it. Zawadi. Never. For the first time, I feel human. They hug. EXT, Supreme Court, final hearing. After months of trial, the courtroom is packed. Witnesses testify. Videos are played. Evidence builds. Mr. Kanani is found guilty of multiple counts of sexual assault, labor abuse, and obstruction of justice. He is sentenced to 30 years in prison. Int. TV studio, reaction coverage. Amina Kozi appears again on national news. Amina Kozi. Zawadi Kanani, once the daughter of wealth, is now the symbol of justice. Her voice woke a sleeping nation. Madam Kanini's new apartment, night. Now living alone in a small apartment, Madam Kanani watches her ex-husband's sentencing on TV. She looks at an old family photo. Zawadi has been cut out. Her pride was a downfall. She closes the TV. Silence falls. City center, sunset. Zawadi walks through a mural being painted on a wall, a giant portrait of Wima, surrounded by flowers, with the words. She spoke. We listened. Tears run down Zawadi's face. Zawadi, Vio. They erased her name. But now, the world sings it. Wima. Mercy. Strength. EXT, Nairobi outskirts, 5 years later, early morning. The sun rises over a quiet compound on the outskirts of Nairobi. A modest building painted in warm yellows and earth tones stands proudly. The signboard at the entrance reads, The Wima Haven, a home for abused domestic girls. Founded by Zawadi Kanani. Inside, laughter echoes, girls sweeping, braiding hair, playing football, learning computer skills. This is no longer a mansion. But it's a kingdom of healing. Int. Wima Haven, Zawadi's office. Zawadi Kanini, now 22, confident and grounded, sits at her desk reviewing intake forms. Her phone buzzes. Text message. New girl from Kakamega arriving today. Fragile case. Be ready. Zawadi puts down her pen and heads out, pulling on a denim jacket. EXT, front gate, later. A small car arrives. From the back, a nurse helps a girl out, frail, her body cloaked in an oversized hoodie. The girl limps slightly. Her face is hidden. Zawadi walks toward her gently. Zawadi. Hi. Welcome to Wima Haven. I'm Zawadi. The girl slowly lifts her head. Zawadi gasps. Zawadi. Wima. The girl nods. A pause, stunned, emotional. Wima. You remembered me. Zawadi rushes to hug her, tears flowing. Int. Wima Haven, Infirmary, night. Zawadi sits by Wima's bedside. Wima's face is bruised, but her eyes are clear. Zawadi. We thought you were dead. I tried to find you. For years. Wima. I was taken to a farm in Kitale. Worked like an animal. They beat me. Starved me. One day I escaped. Found someone who recognized my name from your blog. Zawadi. You're safe now. Forever. They hold hands in silence. Int. Kenyan National University, Auditorium, Day. Zawadi gives a TED-style talk. Zawadi. We grew up in houses built on silence. But silence is not peace. It's the breeding ground of evil. Wima's name means goodness. And goodness cannot be killed. Audience rises in applause. Wima watches from backstage, smiling through tears. In prison visit room, days later. Zawadi stands before Emak Kanini, now thin, aged, and in prison uniform. He looks almost unrecognizable. Mr. Kanini. So, my daughter became the hammer that broke me. Zawadi. No. I became the mirror. You broke yourself. Mr. Kanini. Do you hate me? Zawadi. I pity you. She walks away, leaving him staring blankly. Graveyard, evening. Zawadi and Wima stand beside a simple grave marked. Lucy Akin, your silence was loud enough. They place flowers down. Wima. You saved me. So did you. Zawadi. We save each other. Wima Haven, night. Girls gather for movie night. Popcorn in laps. Wima sits next to Zawadi, holding a baby girl. Zawadi. Softly. What's her name? Wima. Hope. Zawadi smiles. Zawadi. That's perfect. Media room, TV broadcast. News anchors cover a bill passed in Parliament. The Domestic Workers' Rights and Protection Act. Inspired by the Chains of Kindness movement. Zawadi watches from the Haven Lounge, girls cheering around her. Wima Haven, sunset. Zawadi and Wima sit on a bench, watching girls play soccer. The compound glows golden. Wima. If someone told me back then that I'd live like this. Zawadi. You wouldn't have believed them. Wima. No. But I'd have hoped. They smile. Zawadi, VO. We were born in different worlds, one made of marble, the other of mud. But pain made us sisters. And truth made us free.